an inside scoop on how I make these songs and my thought process, and to kind of show you, especially for this song, I guess I'm going to show you what this is, the demo version, and then what you hear on Spotify is the final version. So, and just kind of show you what that process is, kind of my thought process behind my vocals when I'm writing and all that stuff. So today I want to first start with vocals. And so the song is called I'm Sorry Mom, and it recently came out with I'm On It and Unknown Brain, who are these amazing producers and DJs from London. So I think they're from London, pretty sure. And so, yeah, let's start with the vocals. So I'm going to first show you my vocal chain, and this is something that is always changing, but I think it's good to kind of show you, and because I might still go back to this vocal chain sometimes. But so first and always, I have auto-tune, and I just use auto-tune EFX, bam. This one is tuned very hard. I feel like most people do a retune speed around 20. This is 7, kind of aggressive, and then Humanize is on 0, which is going to make it feel a little more human. And then I have RVox, which is just an awesome compressor, and I gated it pretty hard. I didn't really do any. I pretty much just compressed it and left it at that. And then C4 compressor I have on just like the pop vocal preset, and I really don't touch it besides that. And so one thing that I think is really important to show, I mean, the more knowledge that I gain and the more I dive into mixing and all that stuff, I'm starting to change these, but presets are presets for a reason, and you can get away not moving much after you just use the initial preset. And then I have channel EQ, once again on a male lead vocal preset in Logic. I have a de-esser on male S, CLA 2A, another compressor. Now I would typically, I think I mentioned this, but my vocal chain is pretty different now that I made this session is about a year and a half old. And so it's pretty, usually I would turn off, if I'm using this compressor, I would turn off CLA 2A, or not turn off, but turn off right here where it says analog. I would just turn that off because it gives it this like analog sound to it, and gives you kind of some artifacts you don't necessarily need. And then we got API 560, once again on a preset, and then another de-esser, and then, and this vocal chain was showed to me by my friend John Santana, so thank you, John. He's an amazing producer who showed me this. So yeah, let's move along. And so I'll kind of show you, I'm going to show you why I have little altar boy at the bottom after I play this first verse.
I've been up for 3 nights. My eyes are bloodshot red. Damn, I wanna see the sunshine. It's getting to my head. One look in the mirror, don't like what I find. I know that somewhere in there there's a good guy, but
okay, so I want to show you on this vocal I have little altar boy, and so little altar boy is typically used to give it this effect that, here I'll show you.
My eyes are bloodshot red. Damn, I want to see the sunshine. It's
You can hear that growl under it.
One look in the mirror, don't like
without
what
it.
I find.
See, it's a lot cleaner.
I know that somewhere in there there's a good guy.
And so my reasoning of why I added this is I don't use this trick as much, but I still do use it sometimes. But if a vocal is feeling, I guess, like if there's not enough body to it, or I want it just to sound a little, have more of like a growl to it, what I do is I turn the pitch all the way down so it's an octave down. I don't really touch the formant, and then I personally love the distortion from Little Altar Boy, and so I pumped that up, but then I only put it in the mix at like, let's see, what are we at? There's no number, but I'll watch if I'll show you. So if this was on fully in the mix, it would sound like this. Which does not sound great. But if you kind of mix it in there tastefully, it sounds pretty nice. Especially, I feel like this, if you're working on like a trap feeling record or a anything that's dark, this trick works awesome. And so this is it again within the whole mix.
I've been up for 3 nights. My eyes are bloodshot red. Damn, I wanna see the sunshine. It's getting to my head. One look in the mirror, don't like what.
So yeah, just kind of gives it this nice, I don't know, fullness to it, and kind of growl, distortion, saturation feel. And so that, and then on my bus sends, I typically have a lot more, but which I'm excited to show you guys as I dive into more of my sessions and my workflow, kind of show you how it's changed over time. Like I said, the more knowledge I gain and the more songs I work on, I just learn different tips and tricks to get a better sounding vocal. So right now I just have a bus to Valhalla Vintage Verb. As Topher Brown, this producer in Nashville, once said, the only reverb that ever mattered. And this one, I just open it up, and for the most part, sometimes I'll mess with these EQs or the decay, but this just stock sounds amazing. And I usually don't mess with it too much from just like how it sounds right now. And then I have under it, let's see, and then I have H delay. Oh my gosh, this is something worth sharing. So right now I have H delay, and you'll hear in this, I'll show you just like, I think I have like a quarter note delay. Let's see, eighth note delay. Listen. I've been up for 3 nights. My eyes are bloodshot red. And so you'll hear every time I talk, the delay stops, and then after it rings out. My eyes are bloodshot red. Damn, I want to see the sunshine. And there's an awesome thing that I'll go over in future sessions called sidechain, I think it's a sidechain compression, which pretty much when the vocal's going, it ducks. And then when the vocal stops, it goes through. I did this in the most time-consuming way possible, which I do not recommend. And learning the sidechain delay trick saved my life. Let's see. So what I did in here, I'm pretty sure, is it not in this one? Oh, it might be another vocal, but I essentially, or what I would do for the longest time is I would have the delay going, and then I would automate a mute to the delay, and then put it back up, automate a mute, which is just a nightmare and takes way too much time. The sidechain compression way is a million times better. Okay, so moving along, that's just like my verse, and so I have this whole chain going, which I used for a really long time. I in my newer stuff, it's tweaked a bit, but there's still a lot of these plugins that I use and go back to. And so if this is something you want to emulate, I highly recommend it. And just kind of, or not emulate, but just kind of make your own version of that. And so yeah, let's move along.
Damn, I want to see the sunshine. It's getting to my head. One look in the mirror, don't like what I find.
So I have these little pitched up throws right here.
But he runs away at midnight.
So you'll hear, I got this up here. Bam. And so
don't like what I find. I know that somewhere in there there's a good guy.
So let's not solo that. So yeah, right here, So I only put it on certain words. If you put it on the whole phrase, it can get a little messy. But it's really nice if you just go.
In the mirror, don't like what I find. I know that somewhere in there there's a good guy.
Like on the end of phrases, it sounds really nice to do that.
At midnight.
And then I do it again right here. And what's on that? It's literally just a little. I bounced this audio, and then so it's all the bounce it with all the plugins and everything on it. And then I just I have that Valhalla Vintage reverb, and I sent the bus almost all the way, so it's going. And then I have the pitch an octave up, the form an octave up, a little bit of drive, and then it's all the way wet, which is gonna make it sound like. And that's pretty much it. And then I do another one. Also on He Runs Away, I have that layered with this, which is just my normal voice. But it sounds really nice having that verb throw into the chorus like this.
At midnight. I'm sorry that I stole your car.
All right, now we're going in the chorus. I'm sorry that I stole your car. All right. So for the chorus, I have the same chord. I have the same chain. The only thing that is different on it is CLA vocals, which I hope Kenny Beats or no one else ever, or Ian Kirkpatrick never sees this. I have no idea why they would, but they love to talk crap on CLA vocals, and I actually don't really use it that much, but I think I just decided to use it on this. I mean, kind of my way of thinking is if it sounds good, I don't care how you got the sound. I don't care how you arrived there. And I think that's something that is really important to be aware of as a producer. I think people get caught up in the process or doing like something has to be done a certain way, or I think it's good to be aware of the rules, but also like if it feels good, it feels good, and you can't argue with that. If the vocal sounds good, the average consumer of music is not going to be like, wow, I can't believe there's CLA vocals. But I don't use it too much. So the only thing I added, let's see. So I compressed it a little bit more with this compress. I have bass and treble turned off. I have a tight reverb, quarter note delay, and then just like a stereo widener, but none of them are really boosted, so they're like very minimal. And so this is what the lead sounds like soloed. Let's bring my vocal down here. This is what the lead sounds like solo.
I'm sorry that I stole your car and got those tattoos on my arms that don't mean shit to me. Maybe you should pull the alarm so I don't take it way too far. Die before I'm 23. I'm sorry, Mom.
All right, so and now I'm listening back. I'm like, wow, I would have EQ'd a lot more of some of the bad frequencies out, but ended up not doing, and it sounded fine. Maybe Unknown Brain. So I sent all these stems to Unknown Brain to kind of finish it after I had this demo, and maybe they EQ'd it better, or we didn't, and it still sounded fine. So I have this chorus lead that is down the middle, and then I have a chorus right, which is the same thing. You can hear right here.
I'm sorry that I stole your car.
The only thing that is different on this is on the chorus right and chorus left. I sang the same exact thing. I just have this one panned all the way to the right and then this one all the way to the left, and it's just quieter. It depending on the song, when I have panned vocals, I'll have them quieter and louder, just depending on what the song needs. But you don't necessarily want to feel that. Like I would never put my right and my left at the same level, just because it feels weird. Because you still want the lead to shine. And so I have in this chorus vocal stack, I have my lead, my right, my left, and then I also bounced the lead to audio. And I did this chorus pitch down, which sounds like this. I'm sorry that I stole your car and got those tattoos on my. And then I also did the same thing, and I sang it instead of bouncing the lead and then just pitching it up, which it would be doing the opposite of this pitch down. I sang the hook in falsetto, and then I added a little altar boy thing on it, and it sounds listen how weird it sounds soloed. I'll show you. It sounds kind of bad. I'm sorry that I stole your car. So weird. And got the tattoos on my. Like little altar boy sometimes catches notes weird, and like you'll see how it flips from like a lower thing to like a really high. It almost sounds like a vocoder. But another thing to remember is you shouldn't necessarily base the sound of a vocal or anything, a snare, or really anything, how it sounds soloed. I mean, it's good to listen to something soloed and make sure there's not like any too weird of artifacts or anything, but when it's soloed, or the only thing that really matters is how it sounds in the track. So you'll see this is with the pitch down vocal, and then with the lead. Those tattoos on my arms that don't mean shit to me. Maybe you should pull the alarm, so I don't take it way too far. Die before I'm 23. I'm sorry, Mom. And that just gives it this huge wall of sound, which, like, I just love a big sounding vocal. And there's no really harmonies, just kind of layers of octaves and things like that, which is now the chorus all together sounds like this. I'm sorry that I stole your car and got those tattoos on my arms that don't mean shit to me. Maybe you should pull the alarm, so I don't take it way too far. Die before I'm 23. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry, Mom. All right, now we're gonna get into some weird kind of vocal stuff that I did at the end. And so you'll see it says bounce, bounce. And so what this is me singing this. I'm literally just singing gibberish at the end of the hook like this. I also have it side chained to the drums. Really weird. And then I have a tremolator on it. And so just to kind of let you know why I did this, I don't even really know why I did this, but I just went up and I was hearing like the posts, and there's something really cool about whether you have just like cool Foley sounds, like it's like, let's say it's kids playing at recess and you just have it like, you can Google that and find something, or just the sound of the ocean. If you have those things tucked in certain parts of your track or throughout your track, it's just going to give it this different sound. And speaking of Kenny Beats, he was talking about something like that in a stream, and how he tries to always have just some constant sound going on in the background like that, just to give his tracks, I don't know, just make them sound a little different. And it's just this nice consistency to have. This is the same thinking, but with a different thing. So I just, like I said, I was just kind of just mumbling words like this. And this has a little altar boy. Some on the table to run the table. I'm gonna go. And it's more of the rhythm. Like that. And then you throw a little altar boy on it. Makes it sound like this. And then you put a tremolator. This is the real sauce that makes it kind of cool. So this is just subtle in the background. Listen now within the post.
I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry, Mom.
Turn it up.
I'm sorry, Mom. My siblings are perfect and I wish I were the same.
So there's cool things like that, and I also have that going on the bridge right here. It's because it almost sounds like I'm going like bounce. I think that's why it's called it bounce. It's like it sounds like I'm going like bounce, bounce with me, bounce, bounce with me. But listen, right. Cool. So I turned it up a little loud just so you could kind of hear it, but it's more of a thing that you're not fully aware is happening. But just kind of adds a little flavor to it. And so that's pretty much it so far for the vocals. And then I'll show you this thing I did in the bridge right here. That was kind of cool.
This is what happens when I'm out of my medicine. There's collateral damage. I gotta go. This is what happens when I'm out of my medicine. There's collateral damage. I gotta go.
My bad. So sorry when I solo it. Sometimes I forget to solo my mic as well. So what I did in this part is I have just my vocal doing this, just singing the lead.
This is what happens when I'm out of my medicine. There's collateral damage. I gotta go.
But what I did is I automated the spread of the vocal, so you'll see it pans. Or wait, zoomed to the wrong thing. It pans to the left and the right, and it just feels really cool. I got this trick from, I think it's Swimming Pools, that Kendrick song that's awesome. And it's like, no, Kendrick. And it sounds like this guy kind of just like when you're sitting in front of speakers where you can hear like the left and right pan. It's really cool. And it just gives this really cool 3D effect, like something is like in your brain kind of moving around. I don't know, tripping out.
Well, this is what happens when I'm out of my medicine. There's collateral damage. I gotta go.
And so not only am I panning the vocal, but I'm also taking this little altar boy and I am automating it. Let me pull that up as well. I'm automating the formant. So the pitch stays the same, but you'll see I just took the formant. So it starts out higher and then goes down. And you can see I dragged it right here and then it goes down, but you can also watch with the little altar boy open and see how it moves.
Well, this is what happens when I'm out of my medicine. There's collateral damage. I gotta go.
And then I did a reverb at the end. And then what's going on below at the bridge vocal low is just another thing to give it that low sounding layer and going like this. So
well, this is what happens when I'm out of my medicine. There's collateral damage. I gotta go.
It just gives it this awesome, just like a cool mix, kind of 3D feel. And it's just really cool in headphones and just another thing to kind of keep the listener interested. And in the track, it sounds like this.
Well, this is what happens when I'm out of my medicine. There's collateral damage. I gotta go. I'm sorry that I stole your car.
Cool. Yeah, and that's pretty much it for the vocals. So let's move along to the synths and the key sounds and all that good stuff. Let me move my vocal again up here so I don't lose it. So yeah, my goal for this is I just want to show you. I think people sometimes think you have to do all this crazy stuff, and yeah, there's some weird and some deep processes to some of those things I just showed you, but like how many things just had presets on it that you're just, once I show you or someone showed me, like you're more than capable to do. And I think some people think they have to go to school for so many years or be a crazy piano player or know all this theory, and it's like that stuff helps, and I think it's good to know that, but also like you can just do stuff. So motivational. Okay, so this first sound, and I don't know why this part's balanced. I think I wanted it quieter. Oh, I put a little altar boy on it. So this first sound, the creepy crawlers, is an Echo Soundworks patch, and it sounds like this. Really cool sound. And I just played this on the piano. it's just a little, let's see, I don't know why it's showing up like that. Don't want to see that. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, just kind of played a little melody that I thought was cool. And you can get this sound by going to echosoundworks.com. I'm not getting paid to do this. That would be tight. But, yeah, I have a bunch of his packs, and they're so good. But this one is specifically from Echo Soundworks Coda, and it's called Creepy Crawlers. And it sounds creepy. But it's really cool. It's really inspiring. Like, as soon as I started playing it, I was like, okay, I have an idea. It has to be some, like, dark thing. And for the intro, I just bounced this to audio, and then I threw, once again, Little Altar Boy. I use Little Altar Boy on almost everything. And so I just threw, actually, I didn't even use any of the pitch or formant effects. I just threw some drive on it, and it sounds like that. Just gives it a little more grit, so nothing crazy. But yeah, so that's that sound, and then that's kind of going throughout the whole song. It's going in the chorus, and then in the post, something that is really cool, a sound that I'm pretty proud of that isn't crazy sound design, but I just kind of happened to fall upon it on accident, is I took this distorted version of the Creepy Crawlers that's bounced to audio, and then I bounced that one again, and I put a tremolator on it, and then I bounced that again, and then put more Little Altar Boy on it, and then so now it's pitched down. But when you bounce that and then put a tremolator on it, and I was trying to find, I couldn't find the file to show you what I did on the tremolator, but it's a Sound Toys thing, and it's really cool. So it gives you. So that's just, I don't know, and like in the post with everything with the bass, it just sounds so cool. It sounds like this. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry, Mom. My siblings. Yeah, it just kind of gives it this cool like wiggle effect. And then I ended up taking that, and I was like, oh, I'd love to hear that in the second verse. And so kind of what I do is I have it playing in the second verse, and then I just kind of pause it in spots. Actually, no, this is the just original. But yeah, so that's just kind of continuing out through. I know that somewhere. Second verse, and that's pretty much, I think, for the synths. That's like, there's not really a lot of keys layers. I know Unknown Brain, they ended up adding a drop, and so this was originally just like a pop song with no drop, and they fattened up the bass and did a lot of other things and took it from like a good song to a great song, and I'm very grateful for that. But I'll show you, so some of the Foley stuff, if you notice, I try to color code, even if I'm not doing it while I'm writing, I'll color code as I'm mixing and just trying to clean up my session. And so my synths and keys and all that stuff are typically pink or purple, magenta, whatever you want to call this color. I'm not a colorologist or whatever that is called. But I am a huge fan of like weird Foley ear candy stuff. And it's just really fun to me. It's like kind of quirky and kind of weird, and I don't know. Sometimes it's definitely easy to go overboard on it, but like, for example, in the song it says, maybe I should pull the alarm. Like, maybe I should pull the alarm. And so I was like, okay, why don't we should have an alarm sound. So you have this like alarm sound tucked in right here. And you'll see. A gunshot. It says die before I'm 23. And that is on the snare too, which is kind of cool. I think it's. I'm sorry, Mom. And then you can hear there's like the girl screaming, just kind of gives it like this song feels like a whole world. It's kind of like a dark utopian kind of thing. I don't even know if I know what utopian means, but it sounds right. So, and then things like this, just nice little texture things, like when say at midnight, and then there's just pitch, I don't know. I've always been a huge fan of that. I threw Bit Crusher on that. To be honest, I think this is the only song I've ever used it, but I guess it sounds kind of cool, like this. I do that twice in the pre-chorus.
I know that somewhere in there there's a good guy, but he runs away at midnight.
Yeah, just little things like that I feel like help a ton. And then I love this. I took this little clap loop that, let me find vocal, that sounds like this. Really cool. And it just kind of, when it builds into the chorus, you can hear it like this.
I'm sorry that.
Just little things like that kind of help the build. And then I also do it, and this one's longer. And you can see I did like a fade, so you can kind of starts to slowly come in.
But he runs away at midnight. I'm sorry that I stole your car.
Yeah, and so yeah, that's pretty much it for the Foley. So a couple other little things like some risers and reverses and stuff. Let's move to, the ending. I play a little bit of acoustic guitar. I've never owned an electric guitar, which is sad. I should, because I love guitar, but I either have someone else play it or I play it on the keyboard. And so this is a Serum sound. I think this is also an Echo Soundworks. Let's see. Yeah. So this is from the Echo Soundworks Helix pack. It's called Guitar Gasm. I've used this in a lot of songs. It just sounds so awesome. And so you can hear it in the background. And I did little pitch bends on it, which kind of give it more of like a real feel. So here it is. So I have this one knob driver on it, like distortion. I think I do a pitch bend thing at the end. Oh, I do like a fade out. And then this is a similar thing, just it's to audio. I don't know why I have an EQ on there, but oh yeah, I did this cool little tremolator, or like, if you do. Bum, bum, bum. Little things like that I just love. So instead of having it just kind of do that whole legato thing throughout, I was like, okay, like how can I spice up the guitar a little bit? And so you'll see right here, I bounce it to audio and then I mute it, what gives it that like dun 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 dun, almost like a tremolator sidechain effect, but just did it manually. Kind of fun little thing. And then it just goes back into that other guitar. All right, bass. Okay, this is so funny. But also, I guess, I think it's really being easy to be embarrassed, or I guess I'm just aware of like producers that, I don't know, I work with, when I'm a songwriter or for my own artist project or doing pitch stuff, I work with a lot of producers that have been doing it forever and just super talented dudes. But I think this is so funny because I don't really do this anymore. But for the bass, I literally took one shot Cashmere 808s, and I literally just pitched them by hand in the chorus. I think Unknown Brain ended up replacing the bass, which very understandable. But let me find, okay. I'm just going to show you. I don't know if I would recommend this, but like I said, it ended up working out where like the bass still felt fine. And then, like I said, I was for the longest time I was obsessed with the drive from Sound Toys, which like it's like, why not use Decapitator? I don't know, I just like this, and I didn't have Decapitator, so you also got to work with what you got. So yeah, that was my bass. Super weird, but yeah, a lot of people would have just taken that sample and put it into a sampler or use another 808, but that was my workflow during that time, so whatever. Let me see, one sec, someone just texted me. I think they thought our session was starting at 11, starting at noon. Okay, so awesome. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much the only bass I have. Yeah, that is the only bass I have throughout the whole song. And now, I mean, typically now, like I also would have gone in a little more on mixing and all that stuff. But now for the drums, which I'm like really excited for this because it's not a bunch of genius drum programming. It's a lot of loops that were like chopped up and then just kind of being smart with what you got. And so let's start with this pre-chorus. We have, let me bring my vocal down here. We have this pre where it's these, and this loop is so sick. A lot of loops is just chopping it up and knowing like, because if I let this loop go out, let's see, like, let's see what the original loop looks like. Yeah, it's like this whole thing. But what I ended up doing is like finding the moments of this loop that I like, and I chopped it up. I moved some stuff around. I muted it, and then I also gave it like a kick to support it, where either there's not a kick, or I just want if there was like a smaller kick that I wanted to, and it sounds really cool. Like within the track, it sounds more intentional, even though it's a loop. Because the reason it isn't intentional now is because I muted it and moved some things around to where I think they're better fitting for this track.
One look in the mirror, don't like what I find. I know that.
See how those mutes kind of give you like a suspense feel.
He runs away at midnight. I'm sorry that I stole.
Cool. And so for the drums, I mean the big anchor of the drums in this chorus is this drum loop, this Cruels. Shout out to Cruels, the homie. And usually now I would use like a transient shaper, and kind of like with transient shapers you can make loops sound a little fatter and things like that. But also if it doesn't need it, don't do it. And so I have that, and then I added this big reverb snare, which is just a stock. Or no, this is an Ovo 2 short snare. Gosh, that snare is very loud. And then I have some crashes on the, like right when it comes in, and then I have this cymbal thing that comes in the kind of this like organic cymbal feel. We love an open hat, and then I have another kick, this Ovo kick supporting it, and this awesome reverb snare that goes into, it's called Agency Snare. I don't even know where I got this, but it sounds like someone teeing off or something into the hook. Goes like, I just kind of love the setup it gives you for the hook. And then all that together.